Hello everyone to the newest episode of KSP Exodus. And the first thing that we will do now is check up on the nuclear reactor powered interplanetary ship that we sent off during the last episode. So far there's not a lot of problems. Yeah. And we will just set an alarm for when there's our maneuver. Okay, so we have an alarm now for when the Polaris reaches its correction burn node. Now there's another thing I wanted to do. I made this new iteration of the satellites launching rocket, and yeah, this is supposed to get the satellites into orbit. And yeah, this one is a bit different because I don't want to get them into the same old orbit as the other one we already have in there. I want to get one that is basically tilted 90 degrees. So that will require a lot of extra delta V, and that's why this rocket is bigger and more expensive. This one also uses sort of asparagus staging, by the way. And stage separation goes very well. Well, we spun out of control, but that's fine. And we are in the upper parts of the atmosphere now. And we are doing our circularization burn now. We can now fire up the monopropellant engines. Okay, now we're in a good circular orbit. So the plan is we will first get into a very elliptical orbit, and at the highest point in the orbit, so at apoapsis, we will adjust our inclination. And after that is done, then we will make the orbit circular. And then our mission will be completed. Yes. So let's see if this works. Okay, so yeah, the first part of the mission is done, but that's not all. And 3, 2, 1, we start the burn. Yeah, that's almost perfect. Now there's a few things I want to adjust here. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. And we get our eccentricity right. And now we can circularize our orbits. Yeah, beautiful. Now we have all these beautiful comsats in orbits. So, if I'm going to send probes, like to the moon, to one of the moons, then yeah, these probes should have a very good connection to these satellites. Meanwhile, the Deimos is now officially in interplanetary space, which means we can do some science. First of all, crew report, and EVA report, and we can observe the mystery goo, and we can log the temperature, and where is it? Log the pressure data, and collect all these experiments. And yeah, I guess we will now time warp until we get to our maneuver. And we will now start our burn. And we are going at 40,000 kilometers per hour. That's pretty fast if you ask me. Okay, so it seems the maneuver node was a bit wrong. Okay, so for some reason the periapsis was a bit higher than expected, so we need to correct that to get a proper aerobraking pass. For those who don't know, aerobraking basically means that instead of using our engines to slow down, we will use the planet's atmosphere to slow us down. Now, in real life nobody does this because it's too dangerous, but in our case it's not really dangerous because this planet has a relatively thin atmosphere, and there's nothing really on our spaceship that could get destroyed. So yeah, basically instead of using fuel we use air, and that means we save fuel. Okay, so yeah, we're properly set up for an aerobraking pass. And also, since we are now captured, well, not captured, but we are in the sphere of influence of Niven, we can do some juicy science. Pressure data, thermometer data, crew report, EVA report, and then we can store everything. And yeah, and now we can see the planet in all of its glory. And now that we are in low space above the planet, we can do some more science. And we are now entering the atmosphere. Which means we can do even more science. Trust me, it's perfectly safe to have your nuclear reactors overheating like that. Is anything overheating? No, everything's looking good for now. Yeah, we are basically braking from interplanetary velocities here. But we have everything under control, don't worry about it. And we are rising up again. Again, we are not re-entering We are just trying to break ourselves down from interplanetary speeds. Okay, the aerobraking pass wasn't quite enough to get us down into orbit, so we will have to help a bit using our engines. Yeah, okay, now it works. Okay, that's our first aerobraking pass done. It will certainly not be the last though. I will definitely be doing more than one aerobraking pass, because at the moment you can see this orbit is very eccentric, and I want to bring that down a little bit. But I think this is enough for today's episode. And yeah, more aerobraking and doing stuff in the next one.